because just yesterday we had the hearings in Congress with Jack Smith. And, these hearings don't really do much these days, and I guess the only, macro, I make a macro and a micro point. The macro point is, sadly, is that everyone is more concerned about getting like a 30-second sound bite they can gin up their base with than they are with really getting to the issue. And I think that's sad. I think in this, depending upon who's on the defensive, both sides do it. Obviously, this time it was the Republicans. But what I thought was more interesting is that for all the claptrap yesterday, you didn't hear Republicans actually attacking what Jack Smith said in terms of Trump breaking the law, in terms of the conduct. They always went around, oh, you seized our phone records, you did this and that. So it's very interesting that even they know that the charges are not illegitimate. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, Ashley.
Oh, this is Kurt's old committee, so I mean, he knows this better than anybody. I actually thought the whole hearing was a nothing burger, and I think that it was a waste of everyone's time. Do I think that everything Jack Smith did was right? No. Do I think that bringing this up again was right? No. And so there was so much other stuff going on. I mean, this is kind of what Trump does, that there's so much flooding the system, but I don't know if you get anything out of it. I mean, even the fact that how many Democrats voted to hold the Clintons in contempt for not doing against the Epstein thing, the Epstein files, or testifying about that. I mean, like, that wasn't even a very big story. So I think that this 24-hour news cycle, you're exactly right on this, Dave. I think it's like, this is what I think's wrong with the country and why we don't do bipartisan stuff anymore, except for the appropriations process, which we just literally got done pretty much in a month, which we shut down the government over, which is a disgrace on both sides of the aisle. But I think that, that's why everyone's just not working together anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Here's your bailiwick.
I think what's interesting here, there are a couple of things. One, I'm not entirely sure why Republicans had this hearing with Jack Smith. What they thought they were going to get out of it, what the win for Republicans on that. Like, if I'm Chairman Jim Jordan, I'm just like, why are you even having him as a witness? Like, what's the point of the hearing? So in that regard, I think that's kind of a lost cause. I think a far more consequential thing, even though it might not have gotten as much attention, is the fact that there was the contempt hearing for Bill and Hillary not adhering to a congressional subpoena to appear to answer questions about the Epstein files. It passed in a bipartisan fashion. The big picture there is we now have precedent that no one's off limits. Not the former president, not the former first lady, secretary of state, senator, not the former Democrat nominee for president. So if Democrats retake control of Congress and get the gavel back and the subpoena pen back, I don't want to hear a single Republican say, oh, you can't go after the Trumps. You can't go after the cabinets. You can't go after these people. This is exactly what Republicans are doing. They are opening a door to something that can very quickly be used against them. And I thought one of the most interesting and telling things that was said this week was actually when the Supreme Court deliberations, where Justice Roberts said, when questioning the White House's counsel, what goes around comes around. It was the statement that Roberts said, which was, be careful the path that you're going down, because the pendulum will swing back the other way. And historically speaking, when it does, it comes back twice as hard on the party that started it. And I think that Republicans are setting themselves up to just be overrun with oversight investigations by Democrats if they take back the House, which, I mean, you talk to anyone truly who knows what's going on with Congress, Republicans, consultants, pollsters, members who are retiring at a historic clip, they all think the House is gone. They all think that they're going to lose the House. And when Democrats take back the Oversight Committee gavel and the Judiciary Committee gavel, I am telling you, what happened this week will be replayed over and over and over again to silence Republicans whining about them subpoenaing Donald Trump and Jared Kushner and Ivanka and everyone in their orbit. It's like what Republicans did this week opens the door for Democrats to do that twice over next year.
Carrie,
Carrie, you gotta do this for me.
I agree with you that at some point, if everyone just takes their ball and calms down, that's the best route. But Kurt, I just, it's like a different universe to say that the Republicans started this. Like, I'm old enough to remember.
We did, because I did it.
All the taxpayer money.
I'm the one who
going
did
to
it.
a
I'm
guy
the one who
named
wrote this
Moore.
playbook. I wrote it for the
The
Republicans.
Lawfare
You
playbook.
hear of Benghazi? You hear of Operation Fast and Furious? That was my job. I did that. I did that work at the Oversight. I know exactly how we got to where we got it, and I started it.
Well, I certainly don't think it was the Republicans that started it. And in fact,
It
if you look
was.
at
It was
who's
us and Chairman Darlisa. We ran roughshod over everybody. We called it a subpoena cannon, man. We were doing it gleefully all over the place. Like, I'm telling you, I know how it started. It was us.
I'm just saying the first Trump administration was neutered in many respects by Mueller, Trump being too trusting of people. And I mean, every single night, Rachel Maddow would scream her head off about the next Russia collusion investigation that taxpayers needed to spend millions of dollars on. So this is, I'd rather focus on things that affect people's everyday lives. I really would. I'd rather focus on kitchen table issues and education. But the thing is with Trump and Republicans, Trump was unfairly targeted in many respects. I mean, even the former governor of New York, Cuomo, said that these so-called felony charges, which on Twitter and social media, Trump Democrats love to call him a convicted felon. It's like these charges would never have been brought against him if he was not named Trump. And the New York legislature literally changed the law so they could target Trump. So it's called lawfare. And so I think that
Right. And
for
so
once,
it's okay that Republicans are doing the same thing now, right? Like, I mean, that's my point. Like, sure.
I'm just saying,
Let me just, what if, okay, you're right. Let's call it lawfare. Let's say everything Joe Biden did and everything, every Democrat did when Trump was president was lawfare. It was targeting all that. Okay. Let's say you're right. So now that Trump and Republican in power, they're doing the same thing times 50. They're literally targeting their political adversaries, trumped up charges, going out inventing wordage scandals to prosecute them. So all I'm saying is, when the pendulum swings back the other way, like, what do you think's going to happen?
Well, this is probably the new world of politics, which is really sad about
I'm
our
sorry,
system.
I'm so sick of these false equivalence thing that the Republicans, there has never been another time where the Justice Department has been the personal revenge tool of the president. There has never been another time where the president says, hold on, where the president says, in these people, and then they are indicted. Even Richard Nixon was a little more subtle. And
Dave, come on.
come
The
on,
Bidens
yeah.
did that all day long.
Oh, really?
Come on.
When did
the
Joe
last
Biden-
administration?
excuse me, Joe Biden his Justice Department invested his own son. Okay. The Biden Justice Department, Merrick Garland, I think, was the underrated bad person in that
and he
administration.
had a sweet ordeal.
Because he literally took so long. He was so incompetent that he took so long to indict Trump that all it did was boost Trump up without time to prosecute the cases. So, and finish the case. It was literally the worst of both. But this BS about, Biden, it was worse than Trump. It just goes to show you the best defense is a good offense. But we're going to have to leave it there because we are out of time, sadly. But always a great debate, folks. And thanks to all of you for joining us. We will see you next time on Practically Political.